Alright guys, so we got this brand new, fresh off the trailer, 1970 Chevrolet Chevelle. It is LS powered, so you know that's the big thing everybody wants. It is LS powered, but we have Austin here today doing an inspection on it. Austin, what we got going on, bro?
What's up, guys? So this is the 1970 Chevelle, as Dale introduced. I'm just giving it a quick once over, inspecting it. First thing I noticed is this car needs a wash. So when you start over here at the front fender, you can clearly see that this paint job was done very well. There's almost no blemishes other than, you know, what needs to be fixed over there. There's this one little scratch right there. Along the door panel, you got nothing. Everything looks pretty clean. No nicks, no scratches, no cracking, nothing. Everything looks pretty good. Right here, you can see there's a little nick in the paint. We're gonna get that touched up. So right down here, guys, you can see there's four scratches there with a little one right there that it's gonna need to be fixed. So really the main blemish on this car. So the hood looks good. The stripes are beautiful. Goes completely straight down the car. There is like a little bit of paint here that needs to be refixed. A little bit of paint here, a little bit of paint there, but very little minor details that we're gonna fix up and make sure this car looks perfect. Coming along the other side over here, there's no real scratches, nothing on this side. Very minute, tiny little things that'll come out with a good detailing. On the door panel here, everything looks good. It's a beautiful car. It looks beautiful. Little scratch right in there.
Let's just take one appreciation. This is something that is really unique about this car. So if you look at the door handle, it doesn't look like you can pull it, pulls out. It's flush, but with, you see, one little simple push of a button behind. And the best thing about this is you don't gotta slam it, you just gotta boom.
Your quarter panel over here, there's one scratch that I just saw. It's right here, and it's not too deep. I feel like that's gonna come out in a detail, but we're gonna pay attention to it and make sure that when it comes back it's not there, and if it is, we'll fix it. Coming along the trunk looks beautiful. Again, stripes are great, everything looks straight, body gaps are good, everything looks really just well done. This car was built super clean. Generally, I'd say this is one of the better cars that I've inspected in my time. Looks good, everything looks clean, the body gaps are good, chrome's good, no major dents, no major scratches, nothing. It's a solid 8 out of 10 right now, 9 out of 10. I'm gonna make it a 10 out of 10. Looking at the engine compartment, guys, and it looks beautiful. It's an LS engine, what everybody's looking for nowadays. This engine compartment, it looks very clean. Everybody, it looks neat. Put it together really well. There's plenty of space around. All the wires and everything look really well done. Everything looks super nice. Battery's good. Belts look good. Everything looks really good. Besides like a little scratch here and a little nick there, this engine compartment is clean. Looks great. So taking a look at the interior, guys, once again, just a little detail will make this thing look absolutely beautiful. The entire interior is custom and it looks absolutely great. There's no wear spots, no damage. Headliner looks good, seats look good, carpet looks good, mats look good. Looking at the console gauges, everything looks good. Steering wheel, beautiful. There's really nothing wrong with this interior. It looks gorgeous. I think it's one of the best interiors we've seen. Sound system looks good. Speakers sound amazing when you turn them on. Lights work, everything's good in here.
All right, what's up, guys? This is John from No Reserve Plastics, and this is my favorite part. Now that Austin is done with his inspection, he did the physical inspection of the car all around, checking for any leaks, any damages, any scratches, and this car looks pretty good. So the next part that we're gonna be doing on our inspection phase is taking this car out for a road test and test driving it on the street. So I get to have fun with the car on the road, see how this car performs, see how it handles, and also notate if there's anything that needs to be done, such as, you know, the brakes don't feel good, the motor's hesitating, whatever the case may be. I'm gonna find out for you guys, and I'm also gonna take you out with me as well. So let's go take this car out for a test drive. Come with me. 70 Chevelle, and overall I'm very impressed with how this interior is. I don't know if you can hear in the video. Well, actually you can't. You can't hear anything in this interior because of how well insulated it is and how everything is so tight. And even though everything is tight, they're not rubbing or making any kind of weird noises or sounds. It actually feels like you're in a newer car just driving along, but in reality you're driving a 50-year-old vehicle that's been fully custom made with this really nice leather, real leather and suede interior. And it's kind of hard to see, but like the dash is very nice. Looks like a two-layer dash piece with metal over here for the gauges, and then another nice swooping element over here with the suede. So, you know, I was expecting, you know, with all these custom interiors, they have their flaws. But honestly, the whole interior is like pretty well put together. And again, no noises, which is very nice in a 50-year-old car. One of the main reasons why I'm very excited to drive this car around is because this car has a full Roadster Shop chassis, and it's far from what a 70 Chevelle would have came back in 1970. So you have improved handling, you have coilovers front and rear, you have disc brakes, power steering, and it just feels nice and comfortable over the road. And with the addition of an LS, you can just kind of add some gas and you're ready to go. Like, I could feel every single bump on the road with this Roadster Shop chassis, but it feels great. Like, I don't feel like my back's gonna hurt. The seats are nice and comfortable. I feel snug, I feel relaxed, and it feels like a really nice pro touring car that you can cruise around comfortably. Brakes feel nice. And then steering is very simple. Let's see how it feels like on power. Nice. Alright, so now that I'm done feeling how the car is, my next step that I wanted to make sure is that do all the gauges work. I mean, when it looks like the oil pressure is good, voltage is good, temperature is good. Still warming up. We're at around 180, 190 on this LS. It is a colder day in winter in New Jersey. Fuel gauge works. I did see the RPM gauge working. This miles per hour is working. And you know, the nice thing about driving a car like this, either in the winter time like how it is now, or in summer, is heat and air conditioning. And this car does have vintage air conditioning, which is really cool. So I'm all the way blasting the heat. It feels like all the vents are working. And I did turn it on earlier to air conditioning, and here we are. Yep, that's getting cold pretty quick, so it is working pretty well. Let me turn it back to heat and blow up the fans. Very nice. You can hear that blowing through. So we're good on the air conditioning. We're good on how the car handles on the road. Good with the brakes. Now let's see if, you know, things that we need works, like the window switch. Looks good. Looks good. Electric windows are always a pain to install, but when they're done right, you can tell that they're done right. Now again, I'm very impressed with the brakes on this car. It feels like you're ready to stop on a dime. The power steering is nice too. Now what I like about this car too is how modernized it is. Not only do you have the Roadster Shop chassis that really makes this car into like a modern day sports car, but you have an LS fuel injected motor paired up with the 4L80 automatic transmission. You have 4 speeds with overdrive, and you know, we're cruising right now through some back roads. The car again is just very quiet. I'm really happy to see this car. Now this car was built by a company down in Florida. They've built a lot of vehicles for SEMA, and the quality in this car really does show. These guys knew what they were doing, and honestly everything still works even though the car was built about 10 years ago. Everything works nicely, everything feels right. The car doesn't feel like a 10-year-old build. Maybe visually it looks like a 10-year-old car, but you know, this is where we come to play. We're gonna make this car look into an even more badass car and update it to what a Pro Touring car will be like in 2024. Wow, it just soaks up all the bumps on the road. Very nice. No weird noises, no weird smells. This car is nice. Let's bring it onto the highway and let's bring this car onto highway speeds and see how she performs then. Feels very strong, feels very healthy. We're going about 80 miles an hour now. And take your hand off the wheel, the car goes straight. I feel very comfortable in this car. And the quality of this restoration really does show. Here, tilt column. For some of you bigger guys, that works. Horn works. I did notice that I don't see any turn signals on the dash. We'll have to confirm if they're working outside, but no way to indicate that they're working inside. And the other thing that I did notice that we're gonna have to check out is the Bluetooth radio on this car. This car does have a touchscreen Bluetooth radio, but it cannot get it to pair with my phone. Not sure why exactly, but we're gonna have to take a look at that. I did listen to the radio. And it's pretty good. Overall, I'm very impressed with this car. Built by a SEMA builder. The quality, once again, just shows right through with how the car performs on the road, its mannerisms, its power, its performance, its handling, the braking. I mean, this car, in my opinion, doesn't need much. Even over these bigger bumps and grooves in the road, I hear no signs of rubbing, which is nice. It means that these wheels were properly spec'd out for this car. And you know, New Jersey is notorious for their not so great roads, and usually around this area I start rubbing in the rear, but this is very, very, very nice. Let's do another pull just for fun. And then when it's time to brake, oh, there she is. Plenty of stopping power. This car is awesome. All right, so that concludes our road test for this vehicle. I have no complaints whatsoever on this car. A few small miscellaneous things here and there, but nothing major that would hurt the drivability of this car. It's a phenomenal car, built by SEMA builders, and it honestly shows. And I'll just continue saying that again after again. I'm very impressed with how this car handles, how it drives. So now we're gonna bring this car over to get a detail and do a paint correction, ceramic coat, and really let this car shine. So let's head over to the detail shop. I'll see you guys there.
All right, guys, so we finally made it to the detail shop where our 7 Chevelle is currently at. Just getting a basic overview, coating and everything on it, just, you know, one step over before we put that listing up. But hey, let's go inside and let's go see what the car looks like. All right, guys, so I got Nick here today from Danny's
How you doing?
Details. He's got our 70 Chevelle here. And what was your first thoughts about this car when you first got it?
So when the car first got here, I thought it was in pretty good shape. Once I got it inside under the lighting, I noticed it needed a little more work than I expected. So we did a full paint correction, get rid of any light scratches, swirl marks, oxidation, water spots.
What were some of the more rougher areas that you thought on the car, if there
So
were any?
usually, most cars, especially on this one, was the tops. So I'd imagine the guy may have been doing some wiping down in the garage, you know, taking the dust off of it, and usually that'll cause some light surface scratches.
All right, so what are we doing here today with this
So
Chevelle?
in this car, we're gonna do like a 3-step paint correction to try to eliminate about 90–95% of the imperfections in the paint. Light scratches, you know, light swirling, water spots. So I started with the 3-step correction on the roof, went to the trunk, worked my way down and came around the passenger side. Before, you couldn't see all the metallic in the paint. With all the correction and the polishing, could really see the depth, the clarity now. So the car looks brand new.
Yeah, that you can definitely, when I walked in, I saw that this car had a lot more shine. And then when you walked right up to it, you can definitely see the flakiness in the paint. You can't really see it here, but when you bring it outside, you'll definitely be able to see more of the flake going on. It'll give it more of a depth on the car. But were there any other spots that you noticed? I know that we talked about this before on the top that were a little bit rougher, or
Yeah, so
did you?
the tops of the fenders, the hood, the roof. Usually the tops of cars tend to be a little scratchier than the rest of the car. My thought is people dusting the car down themselves, not doing it properly, and caused a lot of light scratches and swirl marks. So I came around passenger side, working my way down the driver's side here. I have not done this door yet, and this rear panel here. There's some water spots that I'll be able to get rid of. All right, so in order to preserve all the hard work we're doing to this car, we're gonna put a 3 to 5 year ceramic coating on it, prevent any of the light scratches and swirl marks that I removed. Make it UV resistant to staining from bird droppings, any sort of contaminants on the road. It'll keep any tar from sticking to it, and it'll make the overall wash process a lot easier for the new owner of this vehicle.
All right, guys, so we have the car right here behind me outside after it's been paint corrected and ceramic coated. I gotta say, like, just looking at this car, it's glossy.
Like, look at that. Look at how glossy this car is.